Hi, welcome to today's devotional podcast with Dr. Jacob Al. We are continuing our uh, devotionals with the biblical exegesis of Bible passages from scriptures that we look in deeply and explain it. And so for today, our devotional uh, is entitled Waiting Continually on God. Wait continually for your God. Wait continually for your God. And our text is taken from Hosea 12:6 ESV. And it says, So you, by the help of your God, return. Hold fast to love and justice, and wait continually for your God. Hold fast to love and justice, and wait continually for your God. Hosea 12:6 ESV. So there was a time when you were close to the Lord, just like Jacob uh, at the Jabbok River. You strove with God and you prevailed. You met with Him, and He spoke to you. You even wept before Him and sought His face. Hosea 12:3-5. God did not seem distant or far away. Rather, he seemed close by and ready to help. He was so real to you that you couldn't imagine offending him by disobeying his commandments. And you were ready for his instructions, and you waited for his counsel. Things, however, change. Reality happened. The trials and troubles of life did more to alienate you from God than draw you close to Him. The striving and wrestling with God ended. You were too busy to stop and listen to Him. There were no more tears before Him. God receded to the background of your conscious life, and you started to go wobbly on some of His commandments. So, waiting for the instructions and counsel of God wasn't the first thing on your mind either anymore. So, this is the thing. Waiting upon the Lord is something that a lot of Christians struggle with, especially in the midst of disappointment and disillusionment. Waiting for the Lord is something that you find it to be irritating and a waste of time when your clear connection with God is tempered with. And this can only come as a result of discontent in your heart against the things of God. Your expectations were not met or they were dashed, and so you were broken, you felt bad, and things just didn't work out well for you. So, what do? You receded and you never ever even spend time like before, even consciously thinking that your God is close to you. And this is a situation and a condition that a lot of Christians will go through in their Christ-like journey and walk with God. Now, um, it is important to understand this. Uh, Waiting on the Lord is not an a lazy act of just whiling away in self pity and just because you have nothing to do or you think you cannot achieve anything, it's not a time of despondency and laments and cursing and rebuking and regretting. It is a time where you really are in tune with the Lord and you are expecting to hear from Him. And so this attitude cannot come about unless there is a real connection. The relationship between you and your God is so real, between you and Christ is so real that you can't wait to start a conversation with Christ. You can't wait to talk to Christ. There is this airy feeling of lost. If you fail to do that for some time, you will sense that there is something wrong in your spirit. And so you can turn back and look upon His mercies and His goodness. And so in Christianity, when we talk about waiting upon the Lord, that our strength shall be renewed, it's not a time of wallowing away or just being lazy. It's an intense relational period. It's an intense time of expectation. It's an intense time of rededication and commitment to the things of God. So, anyone who would tell you that waiting upon the Lord is time wasting does not understand what it means to have a relationship and just bask in the presence of that relationship, waiting to see good things happen in that relationship. Now, our relationship with God and Jesus Christ, for that matter, enable us to take such steps to just bask in His presence, wait in silence, and listen to the voice of silence. The voice of silence is the counsel of God. You ask, how can silence have a voice? Indeed, silence have a voice. We have evidence of that in Scripture. Elijah was taken to the mountain after his fiasco with Jezebel, and he felt that he was the only prophet left and that the wicked Jezebel was looking for him to kill. What did God tell him? God told him, get up and go into the mountains. First of all, elect your somebody who would your successor, somebody who will succeed you. And then he went to this mountain where everything was quiet. It was quiet, dead quiet. Now there was a tender roaring, and Elisha sought to see God in the roar, but nothing happened. There was a strong, mighty wind that blew, and everything was shaking, and yet God was not in it. But later, in a still, small, silent voice, Elijah heard the clear voice of God. And so that is what happens in our Christian life. Sometimes we are expecting God to talk to us in those chaotic moments, in those moments that we have received bad news about our health condition, those moments that we have received bad news about our job situation, bad news about our relationship. That is when we want God to step in immediately and talk and take absolute control and fix everything for us. But He doesn't work that way, unfortunately. This is a God who cannot be tied down to one particular way of working. And that is why He's the most trustworthy and powerful God, because He knows the end from the beginning. Okay? He knows the end from the beginning. So He cannot be fooled if you are genuine or not genuine. If all of this describes you, and at times describes every Christian to one degree or the other, then the message of Hosea for you today is that it is time to return. It's time to return to the way it was. You will never be helped by the Lord to do it, but it is time to do it. Return now before the silver cord of snaps and the golden bowl is broken and the pitcher is shattered at the fountain, or the wheel broken at the cyst, and the dust return to the earth as it was. Ecclesiastes 12:6. Return, that is, before there is no time left to return. So it's a call on you, even as it looks like you have been deserted by God and nothing good can come out of your life. That is when you should return and put yourself under the covering and the umbrella of God. Then you will see things happen. If you decide to return, the things will need to change. Some things will need to change. You shouldn't play fast and loose with commands of the Lord anymore. Once again, you should love the Lord your God with all your heart and should love your neighbor as yourself. Hosea specifically says he hold fast to love and justice. That treats your neighbor like yourself would want to be treated. If you return, he also says, wait continually, and you will wait continually for your God. Don't just follow the dictates of your sinful self. Instead, wait for instructions and counsel of the Lord. And that is exactly what he will do. Keep on waiting. How long, you may ask? As long as it takes for you to be able to distinguish the voice of God and the voice of self and Satan, for that matter. Because whether we like it or not, three voices compete for our attention daily. Every time we have to take a decision, these three voices will speak clearly, unsolicited advice. They will send to you, especially the voice of Satan. His advice is not sought. You didn't solicit it, but he will give it all the same. And sometimes his is so attractive because it's free that you will embrace it and not understand why it has been brought to you. But today, open up and the Lord will reach out to you and touch you and give you the grace that you need to grow in the things of God. If you are new to the faith, please let me know by Facebook invoice or WhatsApp. Let me know so we can send some resources your way to help you grow in the things of God. If you live in the Spotsylvania, Fredericksburg area, I invite you to River of Life Church. We are on the right-hand side after Massaponax High School. Come to our 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. services, and I assure you, you will be blessed. Thank you for taking time to listen to today's devotional podcast. God bless.